Happy Friday!
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday! April showers bring May flowers, and have I got an assortment of flowers for you to make for someone special in your life. Let's get started, shall we? First things first, we need some stems. Now, if you don't have green paper, that's okay. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that we've cut in half. And in order to make your stem for your flower, what you want to do is you want to go and start rolling it on an angle all the way down to the end of the paper. And depending upon how many flowers, different flowers you want to make, or you can make them all the same, what you're going to do is just keep rolling that paper. If you have a little pointy on the top, that's okay. You can always cut it with a piece of scissors or just leave it, because a lot of times when you wrap your flower around it, you're going to lose this part, but you can fold it. So you're just going to keep rolling till you get to the end, and then you're going to take a small piece of tape and tape it. All right, so here's one stem, and if you want to make more, you can. For the first flower is a tissue paper flower. And what I have done is I have grabbed some regular Kleenex tissues. I have 3 of them. You could do 4. You could actually do more depending upon how full you want to make your flower. So, or you could also use tissue paper. But if you have this lying around the house, this is perfect. I think a beautiful white bouquet is quite lovely, but you can just fold and do the accordion fold, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you will need tape to do this. And what you're going to do is when you get to the end, you're going to take the tape and you're going to wrap it around the center here and fold it in half, and then till it looks like this. And then what you're going to do is just gently pull the tissues apart. And I have a flower over here that I've done exactly that. And if you notice, because it's tissue paper, I attempted to color it, and that's one thing you can do, and then spray it with water after you've made your flower. And I've pulled out the pieces to make my flower. Now you can have just one, or you can actually take a couple of flowers to make it even fuller. And then what you would do is you take the stem and you would tape it around, and there you have your tissue paper flower. Got any toilet paper around your house? Well, that's the next one we're going to do. Our next paper flower is a rose. And what you'll need for this is about a 12-inch to 18-inch sheet of toilet paper. That what you're going to do is you're going to fold in half, fold in half down this way, fold in half again, fold in half again, and fold in half again. And what you want to do is you want to kind of make a rounded petal on the top. So you're kind of just going to grab your scissors and you're going to just circle around the top and go down to the bottom there. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and you can trim some more if you want. And when you open it up, you should have something that looks like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to grab your pre-made stem. And what you'll do is you're going to take it and you're going to twist it all the way around, kind of loosely, not too tight, because if you do it too tight, what will happen is that you won't be able to get the petals to move, and you're just going to twist and twist around and twist around the stem. You can take a piece of tape and tape at the bottom there of your paper, and you'll twist around and around and around and around and around. And then what you'll do is you'll tape that part of the flower on the stem. And then what you need to do is you need to, much like you did with the other tissue paper flower, is start pulling it out until it starts to look more like a rose in bloom. In fact, also if you want to, if you think there's too much flower on top, you can always trim it until you have your rose. And what I've done also is I've added some petals. And what I did is I had some white paper, because not everybody's going to have colored paper at home, and you can do this also with making your stems, is I colored some green on the paper and made some petals for my rose. So now we have some beautiful roses. All right, the next flower is one of my favorites. For this next spiral flower, what you need is a full sheet of paper. And notice how I've made some stems using some crepe paper I had around, and just cut some little round stems and taped it on the bottom there. And that just adds a little dimension and color to your flowers, and I kind of like the two different colors there. But let's get ready to make this flower. A full sheet of paper. What you need to do is you're going to fold it in half, make sure everything lines up, and you're going to start cutting onto the fold. And you're not going to go all the way down. If you need a reminder, you can always draw a line across, but I just kind of eyeball it, and I'm going to cut all the way down, just all the way down, 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 quick, lickety split. Then I'm going to take the paper, I'm going to fold it back like this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a sheet of glue all the way down the end of the paper, and I'm going to glue it down and line it up. Then I'm going to get another stem, which is that half sheet of rolled paper, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to start rolling it down and around 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 until I get to the end. And then what you're going to do is you'll take a piece of tape and wrap it around the bottom, and then you'll zhuzh. And if you don't know what zhuzhing is it kind of is a little tight, but if again you pull down like you do with the tissue paper flower and you can pull up a little bit, you can make a very beautiful full flower. Imagine all of this in different colors if you have some colored paper. All right, let's get to our next flower. This next flower would be called your hyacinth. I believe that's what it is. And what we're going to do is similar to the last flower. You only need half of a sheet of paper. And what you're going to do is just make lines again, cutting down just like you did there. And cut, 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 all the way down. And once you've gone all the way down the paper, you need to grab a pencil or a pen, and you're going to start rolling your flowers all the way down to the end. Probably hold on to it, and so it gets that curl. You may have to do it a couple of times. This is a little more involved, but once you have made all of your rolls, again, you do the same thing. Is you'll grab your stem, one of your stems you've made, and once you have it done, you're going to roll it, and then tape it to the stem, and you have a curly type of flower. And also what you can do too is you could take a sheet of paper. I'm using the crepe paper, and just make a little fringe too, to make a little bit of green, and wrap it around the bottom of the flower, again, to just add a little more detail, and it looks very pretty, doesn't it? All right, we just have one more. This last flower I call the fringy flower, and what you need is you need a half of a sheet of paper. So basically what you need to do is, if you have a half of a sheet of paper, you can fold it in half and then cut on the line. I've already cut my paper here, and in order to make your fringy flower, you're going to make much smaller cuts, again, not going all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to go all the way down your long strip of paper until you're already all down to the end, and it's going to look like this. And what do you think we need to do? Just like the other flowers, you're going to take a pre-made stem that you've rolled, and you're going to wrap it around and rolling down the paper. All right, and then you're just going to bring it around, and when you're done, you'll tape it at the end, and you can fringe, or as I say, zhuzh it up, and you can have a fringy flower to add to your beautiful collection of flowers. Ta-da! A beautiful vase of flowers. Now you could take the label off so it doesn't look like fruit cocktail, or maybe you want to take a sheet of paper and wrap it around your can and tape it to the can with a special message to give it to someone that you love. Or you can just wrap some ribbon or string around your bouquet and give it to that special someone. Happy Friday!